Yeah. Now we're going to try doing kind of like what we did in the last assignment, only this time we're going to do it with principles instead of elements, okay? Now, I pulled up here and I'll try to move it over so you can see it. What it says in assignment 2 are the elements that you're, or the design principles that you're going to look at. Now understand that it's how you use the elements that you're able to do balance, emphasis, contrast, movement, so on and so forth, okay? Um, you can balance by shape or value. You see what I'm talking about? You can balance by color. It will be the overall balance we look at, but these are all elements that will allow you to achieve the balance you need in your composition. Okay. Now, when we talk about emphasis, a word I use interchangeably is focal point. What does the artist focal or focus you to look at? If you're looking at a commercial for a motor company, for an example, they don't want you to be so excited about the sky that you forget to look at the logo for that motor. Okay, if it's Ford, if it's Chevrolet, they want to be sure that the last image you have is that of the Chevrolet logo or the Ford logo. All right, so that would be the point of emphasis or the point of focal point or the emphasis. All right, contrast, light, dark. Okay, movement. Sometimes it's possible to get a lot of movement through an image that is very static. Rhythm and pattern, that's a lot of repetition that will kind of show you how to bring through that, and I'll help you. Unity, in my opinion, my friends, unity is the most important of all these principles. If you don't have a unified composition, you might as well just flush it. No one's going to pay any attention. And then, of course, scale and proportion is also intense. You can look at an image on a postage stamp and it might be, oh yeah, that's kind of interesting. You blow it up the size of a wall and it's like, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so that's very important too to look at and to understand when you begin to look at things. All right. Now, it also says, as you write this, to be sure you underline the terms used. All right, so you want to be sure that as you put balance in there and talk about balance and how it's achieved, you are either writing that in bold or underlining it. And I assume you can figure out how to do that. If you're doing this first in some kind of a oh, I don't know, some kind of a text editor like, I guess you can use Word for that, or if you're using an RTF format, you still have an option in that to make these bold or to underline them. So be aware of that and make sure that you can kind of work through it and get that to come up the way we need to have it done. All right, now let's get back to the picture. It's the same one I used before, and I'm doing that because you're already familiar with the elements in it from the last discussion. Now, if I were looking at this one, the very first one I got to tell you that I'm going to talk about would be unity. Is this a unified image? You can have the best image in the world, the most realistic drawing, the most beautiful color. If it's not unified, it looks like scattered stuff, okay? So let's look at this and see if it's unified. Well, you know it's going to be. So I'm going to tell you that when you do unity in a composition, there are about 3 basic ways. I'm trying to make this easy for you, all right? 3 basic ways. You can repeat something. What are you going to repeat? Any of the elements. Color, shape, form, line, any of those. You can repeat something. You can use proximity, which means you just put it all together, or you can use placement in some way, or not placement, but continuation will give you the unity that you want. Placement is something you use for focal point. I'll tell you about that in a minute. All right? So 3 things. Proximity, you can use repetition, you can use continuation. Now, proximity, of course, means it's all together. And you have that. You have these figures all grouped together. So that's going to give you unity. Then look at the repetition you have. You have the lines that are repeated. You've got this line. See the line that this body makes right there? Very same line that whole mass makes right there. Magnificent, isn't it? See the line that arm makes, that body makes, that body makes, that makes, this body makes, that body makes. Repeating those lines, those gestures, that's another way that this artist is achieving unity. And then let's talk about maybe, so we've got it by, you've got unity by repetition of shapes, by repetition of lines. You've also got unity by continuation. as I said, you've got the eye that kind of comes through. See how this line and this foot pulls your eye in this way? And look how everything sort of leads you over to this central figure. If you're pulled in this way, you're led over to the central figure here. Now, I would go right from unity to focal point or emphasis. Obviously, that's going to be Socrates here in the center. How's that pointed? Well, contrast. Remember, we talked about he was the lightest figure by value here. He is the lightest figure in everything. You can achieve focal point by contrast, by placement, and there's another one, and I'll come to it in a minute. But by contrast, certainly, by placement, everybody is kind of pointing to him, right? So both of those work very, very well on getting Socrates, or the other one is, well, I guess this is fine. Placement and contrast would be the two ways. And I have to go back and look at it to be sure what I'm doing for the other one. Sorry. Anyway, so you've done the two big important ones. You've done unity, you've done focal point or emphasis. We've talked a little bit about the contrast here. What about balance? Is it balance? Now, when you talk about balance, there are two major kinds. There's symmetrical, which means if I draw a line right down the middle, cut it in half, it's the same on both sides. Well, if I do that, it's really not the same on both sides, is it? But is it balanced? Yeah, it is balanced. It's balanced asymmetrically, which means a little heavier, but this heaviness, this mass of figures, is balanced by this very dark shape over here. So yeah, it's balanced, but it's asymmetrical balance. It's not exactly the same on both sides, and you'll find some examples of things like that. Movement, anytime you have diagonal lines like this, from here, from here, from here, from here, you're creating movement. Rhythm and pattern, the fact that you're repeating those curved lines again, you're getting a lot of rhythm and pattern going on in this. And you're getting that wonderful sense really of motion as things start moving through the composition. So I would say all this if I were talking about principles of design. And here again, say it, make sure that you've bolded or underlined those things. Be sure you give the artist Jacques-Louis David, and be sure you give the impression that you have about this. And that would be understanding elements. Now, go back to that if you can't, if you don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't know where I'm going. Go back up to, let's see if I can get you there, to the course home, which is right here. Course home will take you right into where you've got your announcements. This is the one I'm talking about right there. Okay, that should bring this up, this announcement, and this announcement has the PDF file. Click on that. It may take a minute, but it will upload for you when you do that, or you will download it. See, here it comes right there. And then if I open that, I'll be able to see what that particular file says. Now, I have in the past gone through the whole thing. I don't think that's necessary for you guys. I think you're perfectly capable of hitting it. But this is basically the kind of thing that should come up. And I'm trying to get it in. How do they do it? And it talks all about elements and principles. I'll save that for another presentation, okay? But for right now, get back to where we were. Get back to the death of Socrates. This is a close-up for sure, isn't it? And, or whatever one you're doing. Get back to that, look at it, make sure you understand what those elements and principles are, and good luck to this, and I'll look forward to reading your compositions on this. Thanks so much.